Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. Okay, I'm finally sitting down having a little bit of time to do one of these videos. There are a couple obstacles standing in my way, which is the scant amount of sunlight because I only like to record these when I have natural sunlight, and being in a location where I'm alone and I'm not in the middle of like being on a train or moving or working. So here I am today. It feels like I've been having an increasing number of people being like, wow, whoever I know watches your channel and loves it. And then followed by some sort of comment of, wow, you must be making so much money off of this. So I'm not sure if any of you guys have watched any of those YouTube videos that actually talk about how much money I made during my first month of YouTube. To be honest, I haven't watched those either. But I think maybe it'd be interesting to like publicly let you guys know how much money I've made, because it's really not that much. And I know people are like, wow, you have like almost 5K and like people actually care about your channel and are engaged. Well, I think to make like a lot of money on YouTube, and it can grow exponentially once you actually get there, it's like you have to be very invested. One of my issues is I'm pretty lazy and I just sort of talk into the camera and I don't edit my videos that much. I will have to edit this video to show you how much money I'm making, which I have to check. So by the time that I actually go in and edit this, you will see the number. And I'm actually going to drop this here right now. Okay, so now that that's done, we need to keep in mind that I started this channel June 20th, I want to say, and it started growing, and then for 2 weeks I like didn't know what to do with it. And then I went back after 2 weeks. Okay, I don't know why I'm so itchy, whatever. I went back after, oh yeah, because my skin's dry. I think that's what's going on. I went back and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to start like recording again, because I had 1K on my one Russian video, and then it just like blew up. And then it blew up and blew up until I monetized a couple weeks later, and then it dropped back down, because I guess that's kind of how that goes, is once you monetize, I don't know what happens. It becomes harder to make money, or you get less engagement. Haha, the irony. Wonder why that happens. So that you work harder and produce more content, because it is beneficial for YouTube, obviously. They're making money off of people who use this as a lazy side job hobby like myself, or not so lazy, who actually put in a lot of work into their YouTube channel, but I'm not one of those people. So this goes to the whole topic of this video, which is being a YouTuber an act of altruism? And I know that sounds like such a weird question, because it's like, well, no, obviously not. People go on YouTube because they're trying to make money. Okay, sorry, I had to do another edit there because my throat was not cooperating with me. Okay, so going back to the idea of, yeah, people go on YouTube to make money. Yes and no. I think sometimes people also just enjoy like this creative process of creating, right? Because you are a creator. You know, I really started using YouTube as a platform and a strategy to not really forget my Russian. But then because I do have people who, you know, I speak to in English who are interested in my life from the English speaking perspective, you know, and it's easier for me to kind of, I usually will record my English video first and then record my Russian video, because the English one kind of warms me up because it's less work, because obviously English is my native language. So I guess my point is, with the amount of time that goes into this, which is not like a lot to be fair, but it's still some amount of time, I don't feel like I actually make that much money compared to how much time I put into this. Like, very honestly, if I were to show up and even work a mediocre shift at the restaurant, I would make more money per hour than what I do now, which I should just do a fun calculation to break down how much money I've made per hour, because I could just add up the length of all my YouTube videos that are posted here and then add in some editing time, because there were a couple of the videos where I was spending like an hour or two editing them, especially the ones where I have pictures and music in them. So yeah, it takes time. And I think that hearing how much this channel means to people has been very motivating for me, because, you know, obviously I do a lot of things, which is what I talk about on this channel. Like, I work, I do research, I work another job sometimes at the restaurant. Okay, those are primarily what I do, in addition to, you know, as I call them, like homeostasis things, and, you know, other like community engagement and whatever, having friends, all those things. So, yeah, what's my point with this? it does take time away from things that I do and things that are guaranteed to make me money, like working a job and working another job and possibly doing research may at some point make me money, which it does not right now, also for transparency. But I guess it's just sort of like, a lot of people are very inspired by me. And this is very funny because, I went to this like startup thing this past weekend. And, these people who are actually successful and who are CEOs of companies and like founded companies, started companies, entrepreneurship, all that fun stuff, and like are actually very successful. And I'm just like, wow, I find it amazing that people tell me they're inspired by me when I look at these people and I'm like, literally, I'm not even close to that. And there are a lot of people out there like that in the world who are like entrepreneurs who have made a lot of money doing whatever. So I just find this all very ironic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I know that there are people, who are like friends or family friends or even kind of distant friends or acquaintances or whatever who watch my channel and maybe enjoy watching it. So that's cool. So I also had one person one time be like, I think wrote me an email and this was a Russian person, but I think they wrote to me in English about how I do these videos, this channel more so for myself than for other people. And to some extent, I think that's true. Like, I do get some benefit out of it. Like, I appreciate the positive feedback. I appreciate the engagement, especially in the Russian language and the way that it helps me preserve my Russian. So yeah, I do agree with all of that. But I just feel like for the amount of time I spend doing it versus like what the outcome is, and then I already feel particularly bad with the amount that I, try to keep up with my friends, but feel unable to based on the fact that they all live in different places and I'm rarely located in the same place for very long. That it's just like having more people for me to engage with and try to keep up with is really like a lot of work. So in some ways, I feel like this platform for people who want to know what's going on in my life are able to come directly and look at that. So it provides some sort of benefit in that way. And I guess people are, social creatures. They're by nature very interested in what other people are doing with their lives. So I guess all of that means that people are interested in watching my channel. So I guess that's kind of everything I have for today because I just, keep thinking about people being like, oh, you must be making so much money. And I'm like, not really. So then why am I continuing to do this if it doesn't really make me that much money? Honestly, good question. I think I just feel some sort of moral obligation at this point to my audience, if I'm being very honest. Because, yeah, I have other ways to make money, and I was never really interested in getting a lot of attention, being in the limelight, and being famous. I was just looking for alternative ways to make money because I really want to buy a house, as I've talked about a lot. And it's not really like, I kind of thought about this yesterday. Somebody asked me, like, do you want to become rich or do you want to become wealthy? And I'm like, I just want enough money to buy a house. And then I'm sure there's always the next thing and the next thing. But, like, I always have money to travel because that's my priority. And I don't like to spend money on other things that I think are stupid. Like, I was thinking about this today. I was looking through my wardrobe, having nicer clothes. Although, thank you for my family. Thank you to my family for giving me all of the hand-me-downs that I have because otherwise I would dress a lot worse. But, yeah, stuff like that. So I don't know what the point of all of this is, but just kind of like the irony of like, wow, you must be doing this because, and it's like, well, why am I doing this? Honestly, sometimes I ask myself the same thing. So it's just kind of a habit at this point, and I keep doing it and makes a little bit of side cash. As my one grandmother said, hey, $40 a month is enough to fill up your tank. And I'm like, you're right, like a tank of gas. So I'm like, yeah, that's true. So that's one way to look at it. But yeah, so that's kind of everything for today. I need to do the Russian video now, and I need to remember to edit this correctly. And I have like a whole list of topics, but they're so jumbled up in my brain, and I kept texting them to myself so I wouldn't forget them. And this week is a little bit calm until I have to go somewhere again over the weekend. I was packing for like 3 different trips this morning and trying to restore some order to my life, and was like, haha, that is hopeless. Anyway, so I'll try to record the rest of the week, but we'll see how things go, because, life likes to be sneaky like that and throw in a bunch of curveballs, so, yeah. Okay, well, that's everything I have for today, and until my next video, bye!